Will a silver tsunami flood the real estate market for years to come, starting in 2024? Will this drive home values down for the first time in nearly a decade? Let's unpack all of it right after this. Hi, I'm Kevin Grohlick. I'm a real estate agent with Compass located in Potomac, Maryland. Thanks once again for checking out the latest video in my series, Real Kevin. A recent article from U.S. News and World Report talk of a silver tsunami or an influx of housing supply due to baby boomers passing away or downsizing. This issue has flared up once again thanks to economic analyst Meredith Whitney. Whitney, who successfully predicted the 2007 and 2008 financial collapse, has been called an oracle by business publication Bloomberg. Whitney told attendees at the Invest conference last month that the wave could start in 2024. Whitney explains there's a supply-demand imbalance. Simply put, there's too much demand and too little supply. She believes that's going to invert as baby boomers get older and either start downsizing or passing away. Then you will see a supply-demand dynamic shift. A possible silver tsunami has been discussed and talked about for years. In 2019, Zillow released a report showing that over 20 million homes will be hitting the market by 2037 thanks to baby boomers aging out. Whitney says it's actually closer to 30 million. According to AARP, 80% of people 50 years or older own homes. As these homeowners start to downsize, pass away, or cash in on equity, that will inevitably release more inventory to the market. Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American Financial Corporation, says once more supply hits the market, it should reduce upward pressure on home values. But he also quipped, "Notice I didn't say price decline." Fleming, along with other economists, believe that this shift will be a little bit more gradual and will be more like a silver glacier than a silver tsunami. He goes on to say those 30 million homes aren't going to hit in one day or in 1 year. Baby boomers are a generation spanning almost 20 years. As with all demographic influences, it will happen over many years. And currently, there's a large supply deficit to make up for. Not all boomers will be selling their homes. Some will simply hand their homes down to family members or loved ones. For these reasons, the impact of boomers leaving their homes may be somewhat muted. In fact, according to a 2022 report from the Mortgage Bankers Association and the Research Institute for Housing America, the change in housing supply will be modest, about 250,000 extra units per year. And as a result, no measurable price reduction. Rachel Haidt, a business development specialist and fair housing advocate, refuted many of Meredith Whitney's claims to a silver tsunami in Inman News. Haidt stated, "This is where she gets it wrong. Just because boomers are said, predicted, and expected to downsize doesn't mean that will happen." She goes on to say, "But here's what nobody's talking about. For many boomers, it's more expensive to move than to stay in their current home. And many of them will stay in place whether it makes sense or not." There's also a huge shift in the culture and expectation of seniors and reality of retirement. She goes on to say that all of the previous data and predicted behavior needs to be thrown out the window. This generation is far less concerned with following previous protocol and more concerned with their own personal happiness. Boomers are going to do it their way and are not going to go quietly into a nursing home and forfeit all their freedoms and happiness as previous generations. Hey, quick break in the action. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and place a comment below. Also, if you have any questions about downsizing yourself and you want my free 7 steps to knowing when it's time to downsize, click on the link in the description box below. Or if you have further questions, feel free always to hit me up by text or phone at 240-793-7495. Back to the action. Whether it ends up being a silver tsunami or a silver glacier, there definitely will be movement occurring. The question is, who stands to reap the benefits? Drumroll please. Gen Zers. Gen Z has already gotten off to a very strong start on their housing journey, more so than previous generations. Analysis from Redfin found that 30% of 25-year-olds owned their home in 2022, compared with 27% of Gen Xers at the same time of their life. Millennials, meanwhile, still struggling to meet their boomer parents.
I'm trying my best.
Redfin found that 62% of 40-year-olds own their own home in 2022, down from a 69% rate for boomers at the same age. The oldest Gen Zers will be 30 years old in 2030, within the prime years for first-time homebuyers. The Gen Z cohort is smaller than the millennial generation and won't face as much competition from boomers. This means they'll probably face less pressure in the marketplace than millennial. The timing of the boomers' exit will mostly benefit Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who find themselves on better footing than their predecessors. Okay, now it's time for my thoughts. Personally, I believe we're going to see more of a silver glacier than silver tsunami. As a Gen Xer, one generation removed from baby boomers, I have personally worked with the parents of many of my peers, as well as with my own parents when it came time that they aged out or passed away. I have a very unique perspective from the inside. I tend to agree more with Rachel Haidt. Boomers are extremely different from the generation before, which was called the silent generation. Many from the silent generation were Depression-era kids, when life was more about surviving than thriving. By and large, the boomer generation, also referred to as the me generation, isn't willing to make many of the sacrifices when it comes to lifestyle and following traditional protocol. Another reason I believe we're going to see more of the glacier than the tsunami is the cost for senior housing has skyrocketed, along with advancements in technology and home design, which makes it easier for boomers to age in place longer than ever before. So there you have it, my complete breakdown on silver tsunami or silver glacier. There's absolutely no doubt we're going to see movement occurring over the next 15 years, but what do you think, tsunami or glacier? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Once again, if you're considering downsizing yourself, you can download the 7 signs it's time to downsize by clicking the link in the description box below. Thanks once again for checking out the latest video in my series, Real Kevin. See you next week.